China's artificial islands in the South China Sea. Nowadays, land reclamation operations in China are carried out every day. The most concerned and crucial aspect of the country's core interests is the reclamation of islands in the South China Sea. With the significant improvement of comprehensive national strength and infrastructure level, China has accelerated the speed of land reclamation in the South China Sea. In the South China Sea, we have 8 artificial islands created by reclamation, each of which has an important strategic position. Do you understand all of them? 1. Yongxing Island. Yongxing Island is the largest island in the Xisha Islands in terms of land area. It has been the territory of China since ancient times. Since the Han Dynasty, historical documents of all dynasties have clearly recorded the island. After the establishment of Sancha City in 2012, it is the seat of Sancha municipal government. In order to accelerate the development of Yongxing Island, land reclamation was carried out on the reef here in 2013, which took 2 years to expand the area of Yongxing Island from the original 2.13 square kilometers to 3.16 square kilometers. At present, Yongxing Island has become a mini maritime city with dense coconut forests and complete infrastructure, including government agencies, schools, banks, post offices, hospitals, libraries, airports, docks, desalination plants, and solar power stations. Yongxing Airport has undergone multiple expansions, and now has a 3,000-meter-long runway that can accommodate Boeing 737 aircraft. The fighter jets departing from this airport can cover the entire South China Sea. The monument to the Navy's recovery of the Xisha Islands. On November 23, 1946, the Navy officers and soldiers of the Republic of China government boarded the island on the destroyer Yongxing and erected the monument. The inscription on the front is South China Sea Screen Fan, and the inscription on the back is the monument to the Navy's recovery of the Xisha Islands. 2. Meiji Island. Meiji Reef is located in the central and eastern waters of the South China Sea, about 800 kilometers away from Sanya. It is a rare large natural haven in the Nanshan Islands, the nearest to the Philippines, and the farthest forward base from China. It forms a strategic support triangle with Yongshu Reef and Jubi Reef, and has an extremely important strategic position. Meiji Island has superior natural conditions. The predecessor of the island was Meiji Reef, a circular reef island that was usually submerged by seawater and only exposed at low tide with a height of 1.8 meters. The atolls here are well developed, and the lagoon is not only large in area, but also wide and deep in outlet. It can pass through heavy tonnage ships, and naturally has superior conditions among over 200 islands and reefs in the Nanshan. In 1999, China built 2 such reinforced concrete reefs on Meiji Reef, north and south, with meteorological, communication, power generation, supply, and defense facilities on top. In January 2015, China began to reclaim land from the Meiji Reef by blowing sand and completing the project in just over half a year. The island formed an area of 5.66 square kilometers, making it the largest artificial island in the South China Sea. Currently, Meiji Island has many infrastructure such as docks, lighthouses, hospitals, weather stations, cinemas, and sports centers. Meiji Island Airport has a runway of about 2,700 meters. On July 13, 2016, an airliner of China Southern Airlines landed smoothly at the new airport in Meiji Reef. The reason why Meiji Reef blows sand and builds an island so quickly is that the Tianquan, a major vessel of China, played a crucial role. It is the largest heavy-duty cutter suction vessel independently developed by China in Asia, which can achieve full intelligence in positioning and dredging operations. It can transport over 7,000 cubic meters of mud through pipelines every hour to a distance of 15 kilometers, and can excavate a large pit of over 7,000 cubic meters in an hour. Its island building ability is amazing. 3. Jubi Island. Jubi Reef is located in the southwest of Thidu Island and reefs in the Nanshan Islands, 197 kilometers away from Yongshu Island and 680 kilometers away from Yongxing Island. It is one of the 3 strategic bases in the Nanshan Islands, and the nearest base from Yongxing Island to Nanshan. It forms a character support trend with Meiji Jiao Airport and Yongshu Jiao Airport. Jubi Reef is an isolated circular reef. When viewed from the air, Jubi Island appears as an irregular polygon, with a maximum length of 6 kilometers and a maximum width of approximately 3.7 kilometers. The reef covers an area of approximately 16 square kilometers. The natural conditions of Jubi Reef are good, making it very suitable for sand blowing to build an island. In early 2015, sand blowing and reclamation began on the reef. After reclamation, Jubi Island, with an area of 4.3 square kilometers, surpassed Yongshu Island and became the second largest island in Nanshan after Meiji Island. At present, the infrastructure and living facilities on the island have reached a certain level, with airports, office buildings, lighthouses, farms, vegetable plantations, etc. The Jubi Island airport runway is 3,250 meters long, making it the longest airport runway in the South China Sea. The island's officers and soldiers have also planted many coconut trees, adding a touch of green to the island. 4. Yongshu Island. Located in the middle of the Nanshan Islands, Yongshu Island is an independent dry reef. The reef is about 26 kilometers long and 7.8 kilometers wide, with a total area of 108 square kilometers. At high tide, the reef is submerged under 0.5 to 1 meter of water, and at low tide, a few reefs are exposed to the water. There is also a huge lagoon with a depth of 14.6 to 40 meters, which can be used to build a deep water harbor. Yongshu Island is located in the center of Nanshan, 800 kilometers from Yongxing Island, about 465 kilometers from the coast of Vietnam, 197 kilometers from Jubi Island, and 287 kilometers from Meiji Island, and has a very important strategic position. In 1988, our Navy built an ocean observation station, a helicopter platform, and a 4,000-ton dock here. Yongshu Reef has initially become a fortress, and become China's administrative and military command center in the Nanshan Islands. From 2014 to 2015, Yongshu Reef implemented sand blowing and reclamation operations, and completed an island building area of 2.8 square kilometers, which is smaller than Meiji Island and Jubi Island. It is the third largest island in the Nanshan Islands. The Nanshan District People's Government of Sancha City is located on the island. At present, the infrastructure on the island is well established, with government agencies, hospitals, airports, and even vegetable greenhouses, greatly improving the living standards of personnel stationed on the island. 5. Huayang Island. Huayang Island is located in the south of the Nanshan Islands in the South China Sea. It is only 77 kilometers away from Yongshu Reef. It is the southernmost island in the South China Sea that China has stationed in the South China Sea. As the guard reef of the Yongshu Reef Observation Station, it has played a protective role in Yongshu Reef and Yongshu Island. It is of great strategic significance, and is known as the first outpost in the South China Sea. In 1988, China began to garrison Huayang Reef. Before the reclamation in 2014, there was only one hidden reef hidden in the sea. In January 2014, sand-blowing reclamation operations began on the island and reef, and the reclamation area of 0.28 square kilometers was completed in the autumn of that year. At present, facilities such as docks, barracks, power stations, radar stations, heliports, and desalination plants have been built here. The officers and soldiers stationed on the island also planted many maplewood, casuarina, and coconut trees here. The island is full of green, tropical trees block the sky, and the forest coverage rate is more than 90%. It is the best greening island in the South China Sea Islands. The sea area near Huayang Island is an important maritime transportation channel and fishing ground in the South China Sea. A large number of fishing boats operate here year-round. In order to prevent maritime traffic accidents, a 50-meter-high lighthouse was built here in 2015, providing safety guarantees for ships traveling between. 6. Nanshan Island. Located at the southwest end of the Jinghe Reef Group in the Nanshan Islands, Nanshan Island is a huge heart-shaped reef, consisting of two reefs 2.5 nautical miles apart. It is submerged by sea water at high tide and exposed at low tide, covering an area of 2 square kilometers. The strategic position of Nanshan Island is important, sandwiched between the 4 islands of Jubi, Yongshu, Chigua, and Meiji. The 4 islands form horns with each other, and Nanshan Reef is an important strategic pivot. Among the sea reefs in the Nanshan Islands, the climate of Nanshan Reef is the worst. It is close to the deep sea area, where the wind and waves can reach more than 20 meters when the waves are high, and the force 10 wind can even blow for half a month. In 1988, when the Navy was just stationed, only simple stilts were built, and the living conditions were difficult. It was called Nanshan in Nanshan by the garrison officers and soldiers. The reclamation operation began in early 2014, and was completed that year, with a reclamation area of 0.18 square kilometers. Although the small island has a small area, after years of construction, the infrastructure is now relatively complete. There are docks, barracks, radar stations, helipads, power stations, seawater desalination plants, and greening projects have been implemented. A large number of casuarina and coconut trees have been planted, and the greening rate of the island has even reached over 80%. The environment and living conditions of stationed officers and soldiers have been greatly improved. 7. Doman Island. Doman Island was originally a hidden reef near the Jiuzhong Reef in the Nanshan Islands. It was oval in shape, 2 kilometers long from north to south, 1.9 kilometers wide from east to west, and covers an area of about 2 square kilometers. When the tide ebbs, some reefs are exposed to the sea. Doman Reef is one of the earliest islands and reefs controlled by China in the Nanshan Islands. It can not only provide supplies for passing ships, but also form a mutual defense situation with Chigua Island. Its strategic position is important, known as the first reef at the South China Sea Gate. In 1988, the Navy began to garrison islands and reefs, initially stationed in these very rudimentary first and second generation tall houses. In 2012, the third generation of reinforced concrete bunkers began to be used, and the living conditions of stationed officers and soldiers were greatly improved. However, the bunkers only had an area of 380 square meters, and the activity space remained limited. At the end of 2013, reclamation operations began on Doman Reef, and by early 2015, it had become an artificial island with an area of 75,000 square meters. At present, the infrastructure of the island is complete, with a comprehensive office building, navigation tower, dock, radar station, etc. The island has also been greened, and the living conditions of stationed officers and soldiers have been greatly improved. 8. Chigua Island. Chigua Island is located at the southwest corner of the Jiuzhong Group Reef in Nanshan, China. Before reclamation, it was a huge wintermelon-shaped reef, approximately 4.4 kilometers long and 2.6 kilometers wide. Inside the reef, there was an inner lake with a depth of 12 meters and an area of nearly 1.3 square kilometers. Chigua Reef is located in the middle of the important deep water channel in the South China Sea, the Nanhua Waterway, guarding the throat of the waterway, and has an important strategic position. In 1988, China and Vietnam engaged in a naval battle here, and our Navy sank 2 Vietnamese ships with only one minor injury, severely damaging one. In the winter of 2013, Chigua began reclamation operations, and took more than half a year to complete, resulting in a total area of 0.102 square kilometers of Chigua Island. Over the years, barracks, large lighthouses, 5G signal base stations, docks, helipads, power stations, seawater desalination plants have been built on the island, and even crossroads, and 1.1 kilometers of roundabout roads have been built. The construction of these infrastructure not only improves the living conditions of the stationed officers and soldiers on the island, but also provides convenience for fishermen to replenish fresh water in Nanshan. Some people may say that the reclamation of Huayang Island has been investigated for damaging marine ecology. So will the reclamation of land in the South China Sea not cause damage to marine ecology? The answer is no. The traditional method of land reclamation is to use caissons or cofferdams, or to use pre-made concrete blocks to sink into the seabed, or to pump out seawater, and then pull building materials to fill the large pit for construction. The sand blowing and reclamation method used in the South China Sea fully simulates natural processes. Simply put, sandbags are used to enclose the islands and reefs to be filled, and then a pump is used to blow the sand from the outer seabed and seawater into the circle. The seawater filters out of the circle, and the sand settles down. This continuous operation gradually turns the circle into land, without causing damage to marine ecology or affecting the development of coral reefs.